was born in Ballarat, Australia, Victoria, and actually there's nothing posh about my name at all. I think we're from convicts, darling. So no, Revel is my middle name. It's my father's middle name and my grandfather's first name, so it's a family name.
I like you because you tell it as it is and you don't shtick it up. If you don't like someone, you tell them you're rubbish. I like that.
Well, I think it's good in life to be honest, and I think particularly in dancing, when you've got a celebrity who can't dance, they need to know how to improve for the next week, obviously. So if I'm not going to turn into Paula Abdul and become, this heinous sort of love fest, with, gloves, cotton wool gloves on them. And, I think it's better to tell them the truth so they can come back and do something about it.
You've had such an interesting career, and I'm a big fan of musical theatre, but I kind of walk out of more than I stay into these days. It's interesting how it's moved, hasn't it? It seems like if you've got ABBA tracks in your musical, it's going to work. There seems less shows being put on at the moment.
Well, there are, and I think that's the general climate, though, because a theatre's quite a difficult thing to make money on, and producers, want to invest, want their investment returned. But I've just done Chess the Musical, which has opened in Newcastle, has been to Edinburgh, going up to Aberdeen, in Cheltenham now, and it's going on a national tour and it's doing very, very well. But yes, of course, we have Sir Tim Rice, who's written the lyrics. ABBA boys, Benny and Bjorn, have written the music, which is fantastic. I've directed and choreographed it, and it's a 30-strong cast of actor musicians. And of course what we do is the actors play the music for the musical itself, which in turn makes it unique.
What is your job as the director? Is yours to make your brilliant people even better, or to make sure they know what they're doing?
My job is to come up with the concept and ideas for the show, and then rehearse the company as you would rehearse a dance routine, I suppose, and make them look really great, at what they do, and devise stuff for them, like the professional dancers do on Strictly Come Dancing for their celebrity partners. They have to create choreography that suits the people. Obviously in something like Chess, and my other show, Spend, 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 that's on at the moment, they're all actor musicians. So primarily they're actors, then they're musicians, then they're singers, so they're not necessarily dancers. So you have to create choreography that they can all achieve and look good at doing.
Seems to me the level of performance in a musical these days is getting better. There's more people want to do it, and there are fewer roles available, so the level gets better, doesn't it?
Yeah, I have to agree with that. And I think it's really good, that people come and see live theatre for that, really, because there are some amazingly talented people out there that haven't been on television, and don't have huge names, but they're just extraordinary. And I really urge and encourage people to go to the theatre. And plus, you're seeing a live show and you're getting it for the first time each time. And that's what I think is great, because live shows change all the time. It's not like when you've done a movie, you cut and edit all the little best bits that you want to tell the story. In a live production, you're literally, as an audience member, going to see it for the first time, and it's going to be performed that way for the first time ever as well. So they're never ever identical, and I think that's what's great about live theatre.
This sounds a bit flippant, and I don't mean it to, but you've spent your years slogging away in musical theatre and in the theatre, working hard, 8 times a week, hours and hours and hours and hours. Does it bother you that you can go and do an hour and a half of TV once a week and earn 10 times as much, and really have to have no talent to do it other than a bit of experience and being a bit gobby?
Oh, you're talking about Len Goodman. Oh, no, sorry, you're talking about Bruno Tonioli. And you forgot to mention the Italian side of that. How can an Italian come to it? Who can't speak English? Less be said about that. No, I think it is peculiar, yes, but that's the nature of television, isn't it? It's immediate. Also, it goes to 12 million people, whereas theatre, at maximum, is going to go to 3,000 if you're working the Palladium or the Edinburgh Playhouse. Most theatre audiences are 1,200 small, but it put Elaine Page on the map, didn't it? Back then. And of course, Elaine Page and Barbara Dixon were famous for singing I Know Him So Well from Chess the Musical, and that put them on the map in a way, and Cats did the same thing. But with the advent of reality TV, I think there are people out there obviously that are becoming famous for not having any talent at all, which I think is extraordinary. I mean, it's very, very different on something like Strictly Come Dancing, because all the celebrities are famous in their own right for something that they do really, really well, and their next challenge, if you like, is going to be that, like Celebrity MasterChef. Your next challenge is to cook and become a really great cook. We want them to learn the dance and become really great dancers if they can, or at least encourage the audience of our 12 million, strong, to get up there and have a go at it, which I think is equally brilliant.
Craig, you're a theatre man. You're used to criticism and developing. I need to give you some help with diction, if you don't mind, and how you speak, because you said there Elaine Page.
Well, it depends where you're from, my darling. Some people up north might say Elaine. Mightn't they, sweetie? I was born in Ballarat, so I have a very bizarre accent anyway.
What is cha-cha-cha?
It's a dance move, darling, and it goes 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. And when you're trying to explain it to someone that's never danced before, it's wonderful I think, to elongate a vowel.
Yes.
Most people don't know what a vowel is anyway.
Well, Carol Vorderman does. She knows all about that kind of thing.
She knows all about it. Well, I don't know that you never know it's going to be successful. I've done it in a different format, of course, than I did when I did in the West End. In the West End, we had an orchestra in the pit. We did it in a traditional fashion, in a big sort of splashy way. But I see it very much as a small sort of northern piece in that way, and that's really what I've tried to do with it. And they're acting musicians, so they all play their instruments throughout the scenes as well. And because I've only got a cast of 12, I had to do something with the big sort of finale of Act 1 number, the big spend number, which normally has about 30 people in it. But what I've got, I've got 12 people on stage, which is a delight actually, because the story is very, very clear and it's very efficient in that way. But I've used the miners as the bunny girls, which I think is absolutely hilarious, and I love it. So, the guy Graham who plays Dad, Graham Kenty's name is, he plays the father in it, of course, comes out as a tattooed, dirty miner bunny. I mean, it's really funny. I mean, it's a take on the press and what the press can actually be like. That's what it's all about, and it helps tell the story. Plus, it's entertaining, and plus, it's great that it's coming actually back to the place that it first began. I think that's wonderful, and I can only hope that, because the story is based around Viv Nicholson, who is still alive today, I can only hope. I mean, this must be literally the only musical in the world where the subject is still alive. I think that's just incredible. I want her to turn up there and see it. I think that would be just gorgeous. Yeah. And this is a true, musical that's been written specifically for it. It's not based on any other tunes. It's not, or anything like that. It's been specifically written by Brits, for this particular story, which I think is great.
Craig, it's been lovely talking to you. But before we go,
yes.
As you know, I like to get half a pound of Cumberland inside me, and I like to talk about sausage on the air.
So
you're
do I.
on the hunt for the best sausage, aren't you?
I am, and there's a good reason for it, because I was on MasterChef and a grand finalist on that in 2000. I'm admittedly very nervous, but that got my cooking, interest and skills up, and I started making my own sausages at home, and then started falling in love with them, and I just absolutely adore them. And then I was asked whether I would, come and do the for the British Sausage Appreciation Society, whether I'd sort of launched the British Sausage Week. And I thought, what a great idea, because number one, I love them. Number two, they've got to be 85% meat, otherwise I won't touch them, darling. And number three, I get to go on the banger bus for a week and taste every glamour sausage known to man.
Oh,
I can't wait.
How long have you been appreciating a good sausage then, Craig?
Well, 3 years now.
Very nice.
Oh,
and is
yes.
there good quality out there?
Oh, there's some amazing quality sausages. You've got to think, and feel for the butchers. I think, because they really go to great pains to make us gorgeous sausages, and the more people keep buying these cheap, nasty ones, the worse off it's going to be. Plus, we've done a whole bunch of dance stuff with the sausages as well.
Have you dancing sausages?
No. Sausage chili cha cha cha, darling. We've got a whole stream of glamorous recipes. The sausage strudel waltz, mambo sausages and mash.
Oh, stop. This is too much.
It's gorgeous. You can get it on the website, www.britishsausageweek.com.
Very
all of that
good
stuff.
Before we go, I have two words for you.
Anne Whitcomb.
Yes.
And two right back at you.
Are you looking forward to that? I can't wait to see her in spandex.
Yeah, I can't wait. The rumba dance of love costume, or maybe a nice small Latin number.
Let's see her cha-cha-cha. Lovely to talk to you. Thanks for coming on the programme.
Lovely to talk to you, Alex. Bye-bye.